now.
All right, time being 5:35. Call the latest meeting of the Tilton Northfield Fire District Budget Committee to order. Almost everybody's here. Charlie is not. Eric is at Selectmen's. Chief's on the road.
Chief is an emergency
On call.
Yeah.
So we've got some minutes. We got a. Who's asking? Do you have the ability? I don't know.
I'm seeing this volume.
You got it.
Seemed like the volume.
So we have minutes to approve and sign off on. February 6th. I'm sure everybody's mind is clear to that day.
I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes of 6 February 2020.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
That's to my recollection.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. Looks good to me.
All right.
You gotta be good. 6 pages. It's gotta be right.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Into more recent memories. This may be a struggle for some of us too. This is last week, 6:25. All right, we have a motion and seconded. Any discussion? There being none. All those in favor accept the minutes of 6:25 as presented, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? All right. Done.
Good. Thank you.
Evening. Charlie.
What's happening?
All right.
Charlie, you can sit right here.
Charlie's here.
Yeah, you can go far away.
Oh, I'm
Not
sorry.
bother me.
Jake wanted to sit.
I'll still have it as long as I can stand it.
It's hot.
All right, so it's my understanding that the chief did some additional communication with the vendor on 2 trucks, and that we'd be looking at paying for 1 truck completely as a down payment, and then paying for the second truck at a slightly higher price on delivery. It looks like you get 2 different numbers.
There are 2 different numbers there. One is the down payment, and then the balance is due upon we receive the second truck. But it totals that 1.3 million.
Did you guys get a copy of this?
Yeah. It just seemed like the 677 number stuck in my head.
Right,
And that
that's
was
the first payment.
The first payment, and the second payment was not 677.
No, the second payment is more.
Right.
Right.
So they're basically, we're not getting the $50,000 discount.
Yeah, we are. We still are.
How so?
We're getting the discount with a $12,000 premium we're paying for paying one delivery of the second.
Right.
So we're only saving $38,000 instead of.
That was my interpretation. We're not, so everybody's clear, we're not getting $50,000 off, we're paying a little bit for them to hold paper on the truck
On the second.
for the second truck.
Okay.
Essentially,
Right.
correct. And then there's no third-party lender, there's no interest, there's no bank that's making something on this. I think it's, feeling a little recognized. Some of this interest. Charlie, what do you think?
I'm all in. Let's do it.
I just got a couple questions because
Yeah.
I wasn't here last time and reading the minutes. So Paul B. Noted that we could potentially save about $180,000 in the process. Is that an accurate number you're looking at?
$180,000 in the cost.
If we can save around $180,000 in the process, then we should do it. And it was, you put all the numbers together.
I think some of that was in not spending 3 or 4 years more maintenance.
Right. But I mean, ultimately, they're good numbers when you look at planned maintenance and, unplanned maintenance, most of it. Right.
So one of the things that I specifically asked the chief for this meeting was a breakdown of what we've spent on maintenance. What are the major components? We spent $25,000 this year
Yep.
maintenance. What has that lost, you know, and unfortunately, we don't have that information.
Right.
Okay. And
While she's looking up that, another follow-on question was, Kevin Lashico was here, and he mentioned something about delaying the trucks.
that's not possible.
That's not possible, what he was talking about?
We would not get a discount unless we bought both trucks at the same time.
Right,
No
but,
discount.
oh, see, well, I read it wrong. I thought he was talking about buying it, but still delaying the delivery.
Correct, and I had a conversation with the chief pertaining to that, and he said, unless we buy both trucks simultaneously, there is no discount. There's no delaying delivery, none of that can happen. And that's still what it is.
And I think, because we talked a little bit about that, that would speak to, you know, the vendors, the discount would be due to their efficiency being able to, hey, okay, we're going to stamp out 2 frames, we're going to stamp out 2
Yeah.
packages.
But, I mean, me personally, it's a numbers game. It's a math game.
Oh, yeah.
And if it turns out, I think sometimes we look at this stuff. I mean, without pointing anybody out, I'm just saying, you know, sometimes it just looks like it's a principle thing about having 2 new trucks. Some people just don't want us to have new trucks. Having said that, though, when I told the chief a while back, just back to some emails when I said I couldn't make the last meeting, was that my only fear is that when we get to the district meeting, a second fire truck might come up, a fire truck, period. It could. I don't know if that discussed, but I just.
Well, the thing is, at district meeting, we cannot change the warrant article for 2 trucks. It has to go as a single truck because that's the way it was born. We cannot change the purpose of that article.
Right.
We could talk to the people and say, this is what we're recommending, this is what we'd like to do. One this year, one next, you know, vote one this year, next year, but you can't change the purpose of that warrant article.
Okay, so the clarification on that. So the warrant article is to purchase a truck.
Right.
So regardless of cost or value or anything else, that cannot be amended to say purchase 2 trucks.
It cannot,
Okay.
because it was only warned for 1 truck.
Okay. So with that being said, what does this matter?
Yeah, how we pull this out.
Can it be amended on the floor?
No, what happens is that you'd have, you know, once you sign a contract, then, you know, you sign the contract, you let the people know so that they're not being blindsided. You know, this is what the warrant says, this is what's happened, this is what we'd like to do, and, you know, we want to sign a contract for 2, one for this year and one coming up next year.
The warrant article is for 1 truck.
Right.
And
Well, don't we have to say we need a second?
Yes.
Why we need a second?
Yes. You have to explain it all out.
it's still,
And you have to explain, you can't change the warrant article, so this is how we do it anyway.
I guess I'm still confused.
Yeah.
So we can't change the warrant article, so who's going to propose this to the body?
Don't look at me.
No, I'm just, is the chief planning to propose this to the body, or?
I'm not sure.
Commissioners, do you guys have this like down to like something that people are going to be able to understand?
I think the chief can explain it better
Yeah.
than anybody. I mean, he's got all the numbers, he's got all the figures, he's got the paperwork and everything that explains why we need to do this and everything. So he would probably be the one to present it. I think if he said tonight,
He's going
but he could have something written out.
Right, he does.
He has something written out, presented.
Right, but essentially what I just heard was we can't change the warrant. So people are going to vote on 1 truck, but we're going to change the purchase to 2.
Right.
And then the hope, which is always a good business strategy, that hope that we get a vote for a second truck in the following year.
what we don't.
Exactly. Got
In
excited.
the contract,
This to me
You've got
sounds
1 fire truck on the warrant for a specific amount of money.
right,
The best way to get to court is to tell people you're gonna buy 1, then buy 2.
That's why he wants to bring it up at the meeting and say, look, this is the situation. We can't change the warrant because that's the way, it has to go the way it was warned. We want your approval and your blessing to sign a contract for 2. We're not blindsiding you, we're being upfront about it, but we can't change the warrant.
You can't bind this year's group to next year's purchase.
I know that.
That's what we just said we were gonna do.
Sign the contract. That's how, that's what, you know.
When we talked about this, do you mind if I speak?
I hope you
It's-
Yeah.
Okay,
We're coming your way.
Well, it's just making sure. We talked when this first happened, the chief was trying that we can't do the warrant article, but it was going to be authorizing the commissioners to, originally we were looking at the funds this year for both. Because that crossing the line is a muddy water immediately. Because originally that's the whole thing, is we were going to pay for both from this year, because we really shouldn't be crossing budget years. And that's why he was looking before to do the loan, the lease, and then the payoff is, it's kind of muddy the way, yeah,
Right, and this is hinged on next year's.
approval. That we've already signed a
just
contract
agreeing
on
to
saying
approve a contract that's already.
that they've already built the truck.
That in itself is wrong.
I agree.
Oh, we were
On that
talking about last meeting, correct me if I'm wrong, was we were talking about amending there were even some draft amendments that were floating around. We were going to amend the warrant article in order to do this, do something. Now, what you're saying is that that's
That
what
DRA, so if we
That
have.
is DRA.
I think it was the operating budget they were going to amend.
That's what I told you, but that's why we came up with the signed contract, go into a purchase and lease agreement. Those were their suggestions.
DRA.
DRA.
that was,
It was the operating budget, how I interpreted that we were going to try to get approval from the public and inform the public of what we were going to do to get their sense of the whole thing. Because I was under the understanding from the beginning we couldn't adjust the warrant article.
I mean,
Whose plan was it to do that in the first place?
Do what?
To amend the warrant?
my understanding was, one of the options that we were discussing, I guess I don't know.
Well, aware you can't always fund it.
Right, the engine warrant, we originally talked about it being the operating budget adjustments, is how I understood it. I could be wrong, but that's how I was understanding it from the beginning. Because I knew the warrant we couldn't touch, so I thought we were going to adjust. No? Okay. That's, like I said,
If you went into a purchase and lease agreement, you were going to purchase, it was floated out there 2 ways, purchase one, lease one, or lease both. And if you purchased one and leased one, you were going to adjust the operating account
okay.
at that point.
Okay.
But if it was leased 2, you didn't need to do any of that.
Right. But now that we have 2, because we talked in our meeting about, we have enough there at the moment to cover 2 right now, which is scary. It would be taking it down in a couple of years. That's what, it's not possible, but it's doable. But in order to do that, now that we're talking about it, I wish the chief was here, I think that we would have to bind with the money this cycle, because you can't do a contract and then next year the taxpayer say, hey, we aren't paying, but they are doing it.
yeah, right. So, okay, so DRA said, no, we can't change the warrant. Did we get any, excuse me if I didn't catch it, are we talking about what DRA said we could do? Or have we gotten any, do we have that? I mean, this proposal that the chief has, I mean, has this been floated by DRA?
We can do that. We can lease it, the commissioners can enter into a contract without the approval of the body. it's not, they don't want to do that, but they can do that.
It's the only way you're gonna get 2 trucks in 1 year with one truck.
And that's what we already recommend.
And then you guys will pay for that.
Oh, I know.
But that's why they're,
And I don't leave it with
they're bringing it before. They don't want to blindside everybody, which has happened before. Let's face it. They want to be upfront about it.
I'm sorry. I take exception to what you just said, because if they make a decision, I assume that they're making a decision that is a compromise for what's providing the best service to the district and what's providing the best service to the taxpayer. And what you're actually threatening them, that if they agree to this, they're not going to get reelected. That's what you just said.
No, that's not what I said.
You just said that they're going to pay for this.
But they're not with money.
One thing you will learn about me is I say what I mean. If I admit what you said, those were the words I'd have used.
Okay, so it's my interpretation that is incorrect. Could you please explain what you just said? For those
I said the only way you're going to buy 2 fire trucks in 1 year is the commissioners go out and do a lease. The public would be pissed at them, just like we were when they went and leased 2 trucks with no permission. They took hell for it, and they will catch hell if that's what they do.
But what you said was that they will pay a price. Those are
I
your exact
said
words.
they would pay for that later in the form of catching hell from
And it's quite potential that the people in the public, you are going to upset some. Right now, and if you don't mind me speaking, right now we have 2 apparatus on the emergency response platforms that we can't rely on starting up.
For years.
In fact, one is broken.
Where are they right now?
One's actually broke right now. The one's on call. But, so yes, we have one. If that one doesn't start for whatever reason, now we're relying on mutual aid, and Belmont has had 6 calls since 2:30 when we started today. So you're looking at relying on mutual aid, which is great, but if we're delaying response for our people.
So if you feel this is an emergency situation,
I feel having a apparatus that we can rely on is important, yes.
is it an emergency situation?
Yeah, I think based on what we're seeing. What are you getting at, Kevin?
So if it's an emergency situation, why are we going to wait a year for a fire?
It takes to make it.
They have one
There's
built.
one for sale in Tamworth.
That will fit in our engine, our station.
Right here, right?
It will. Okay, so what are we going to have on the other side of town where they're over at, and that apparatus doesn't roll?
Something we'll have to do with operation. If we are in an emergency situation,
You're talking about buying a used truck?
No, it's a brand new one sitting over there that has been used, which would fit.
if it's a true emergency, don't wait a year. I wouldn't.
We need to have apparatus that can respond. At least one, and we have the second one, which is dying pretty quick too.
I mean, I happen to agree with you. If it's an emergency, you'll wait 13 months for an emergency.
Unless you're going to have us get money and approve money to put dorms over here, you need the engines to respond with the dorms. So it has to fit in that station. I know where you're going with that, and I have no problem with that. But we can't be parking an apparatus outside all the time over there when it's up to Tamworth for a week or 2. And unless you put dorms over here and you have it over here, it has to fit in a 9x9 box. If it wasn't a 9x9 box, then great. I mean, but you can't have the guys over here on cots for the week and a half it's up in Tamworth.
My mind was made up before I got here that I want to recommend it for approval. The thing is, my only worry is how it's put forth, because it's not going to be an issue of people catching hell if it's it's one thing to say we're putting a warrant for buy 1 truck, and then you go out and buy 2 trucks. It's a totally different thing to have a warrant up there, and then we find out before we actually vote on it that hey, we can get a better deal, and it's articulated to the voting body. Then there's nobody has a bitch at that point because it's been articulated to them so they know what's going on.
Therefore,
My only
okay.
questions, the questions that I'm asking is how and who is going to articulate this, because it really is, I mean, I think I'm a fairly quick study, and it took me a little bit to get my head wrapped around it. So when people show up and when we start briefing it, they gotta get their
They're-
minds wrapped around it right there. So the chief better be on his best
So
game.
someone who can speak to people so they'll understand it needs to be the one to speak.
Right.
I mean, you know?
You know, a couple of weeks ago, we had a truck from Belmont. That's pretty sad. We got 2 fire trucks that neither one of them work, and we have to borrow one from another town. That makes us look bad.
I
I
agree.
mean, for myself personally, I can't believe we were in that situation. I really can't.
I have a real problem when we start throwing around the words mutual aid, because mutual aid is not getting another community to fund piece of equipment for us because we don't have the foresight, we don't have the ability to obtain that ourselves. That's not mutual aid. Mutual aid is when you get tripped up, you can't handle it operationally, you need help. It's not there as a backstop for our core plan. So I don't like using mutual aid in a situation like this. I don't think we should ever rely on mutual aid in a situation.
It's like that guy who bums smokes. You don't bum a smoke. You're gonna give it back to me?
Right, exactly.
You kill him fast.
So if we can summarize, our option, we only really have one option then with respect to the second entry, being one of them on a warrant article, second one entering a lease purchase agreement, and I assume that the commissioners would, I shouldn't assume, my thought would be that we pay for the first year out of the operating budget, and we pay the unit off next year with the equipment and apparatus fund through a warrant article, or we continue through the 5-year lease program out of the operating budget. Is that correct? Did I characterize that correctly?
No, it sounds right to me. It's
Right.
like,
So you use the lease payments of the $11,000, I think it is a month, from the operating cost for the 5 years. Right.
So we're going to enter a lease agreement for 5 years. We would enter a lease agreement for 5 years, expecting to pay the first year in the operating budget and the final 4 payments out of the equipment and apparatus fund through a warrant article next year. And if that warrant article fails, then we have to pull another year's payment
From operating.
from the operating. Is that correct?
And if you want to do it that way, you're going to have to increase the operating budget to cover those payments.
Right. This year. This year's operating budget. We have to.
Yes, because you will not, we've already, maintenance-wise, we've already planning to drain the funds this year alone, so the budget's going to be very tight to begin with.
Almost there.
You could say
that was my pet peeve when I was commissioner, and every year after it, I mean, why are we constantly, putting money in these freaking phones? It's like, I just,
You're gonna jump the 2020 budget another 132,000.
I haven't looked at the numbers, is that what?
That's
That's
the
right.
last time squad minutes.
Yeah, okay. In the voters,
if we actually have a district, well, say it gets signed in July to August, and then we actually have a normal meeting on schedule in March, cycle, it's 8. It's still a lot.
it's still,
Yeah.
and you have the taxpayers, voters,
And
say
they're,
yea or no.
and they're not going to be happy if you do that.
Right.
Which is why we're here. Is last week we were trying to avoid interest in the mini tank, and now we're in the legal tank.
Right, all set. Whether you pay $12,000 over the course of the lease for interest in Franklin savings, or you pay $12,000 premium for paying on delivery next year, you can say, yeah, it's not interest, but it's the same $12,000.
Cost of the money.
It's the same money. Whether it's interest to the bank or a fee to the manufacturer.
Conceptually, I had a week to think about buying 2 trucks, and these very unusual circumstances, but met with a great opportunity to get 2 identical trucks. I want to make sure, I support the concept of getting 2 pieces of equipment because that's where we're at. There's, I'm careful with the word need. There's a need. If we're borrowing trucks or we're borrowing help, we have a need. Can't rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, but it's a need. And there's no time like the present to buy the trucks now. They're not going to get any cheaper, and the cost of that truck is going to continue. The second truck is going to continue to increase in price year over year. Or we're going to dump money in maintenance and to keep the second truck afloat year after year after year until we. And we looked at that on
the new one.
So I support the concept, and I want to do so. Me personally, I want to buy 2 trucks as legally and as inexpensively as we can.
Right.
And whatever mechanism gets us there,
Well,
that's where I'm.
Right now, you agreed to $54,468 for the equipment maintenance. That is what you're putting forth the district meeting. And right now, without the bill for the truck that's in the garage at this point in time, we have spent.
About 80% of it. We're only.
Oh no, we have spent $54,955.
Okay, because the last one that you gave said we're much further into the ratio of money than we were into the ratio of the year. So.
Yeah.
So that's total maintenance budget for all equipment.
Right.
Yeah, I put up the tower.
Right, for all equipment.
Yeah.
And that's money that affects the tax rate.
Yes, it is.
I don't know why we have to argue that whole point every time, this body,
No,
with everybody around the district arguing the difference between what affects the tax rate and the apparatus and equipment fund.
What happens when the towns have a revenue shortfall to pay their tax bill? The town's gonna borrow money.
We can if and but.
Yes, right. Even if and but borrowing a fire truck, because it's only happened once. So let's not get all caught up about one time. When the people who can't pay their tax bill, it takes X amount to run the towns anyway. And we're gonna borrow money to pay for borrowed money.
Well,
I don't know
I
if that
don't
makes
think it
sense.
would be like that anyway, because one, we still have our
Unassigned fund
the
balance.
unassigned fund balance that we have. Yeah, well, that's for emergency use, but I mean, you know what? That's the sky. I mean, what you're presenting is a sky is falling scenario, just as much as you're saying borrowing trucks and all that is a sky is falling scenario.
Do you think that there's not going to be more people not paying their taxes?
You know what? We can't control that. We can't control that. I mean, the last six.
You're spending their
No,
money.
but their money. My freaking my assessment went up $100,000. So you know what? I don't want to listen to people talk to me about taxes. I mean, with the stroke of a pen, my tax bill went up $2,500 here.
So what's going to happen to your assessment when children has to borrow money to pay for borrowed money for the police station that you're building, and now they have to borrow money for the
Cookies
school?
and nuts. It's a bunch of cookies and nuts. We all have a Merry Christmas. You know what? It's just one of those things. Look at what happened when our communities now. I mean, who expected this ridiculous shutdown for 6 months? I mean, you know what? Last I checked, the sky's still up. People are still eating and breathing.
Neither my town budget nor the fire district budget are really what's killing my tax bill.
Yeah.
There's another $11 a thousand out there that's really eating me
Yeah.
up, and I'm not in this meeting to control that.
But the thing is, you know, I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. Honestly, I feel as though for my tax dollars, the fire department, fire and EMS, we get the best bang for our dollar out of this organization right here than any town entity or district entity that I pay taxes to. And if that offends anybody, oh well, I'm sorry. But I just feel that this this department right here. And it hasn't personally provided me a lot of service. Thank God I haven't had to use them. But I do know that they provide a damn good service to a lot of people. And 2 fire trucks that is, no, and just looking at the 2 fire trucks, this is an opportunity to have probably even better service when you think about the continuity of 2 exact same trucks. I mean, there's no like, there's no hesitation. You got guys jumping from truck to truck. They're exactly the same. Which there may be a little bit of a hesitation, not much, but there's probably some hesitation about when you go from one engine into 1, engine 2, whatever, engine 3, whatever. Leave it at that. I mean, it's just a small thing. But I'm just not here to rob. So
this was a joint meeting, right? This was a commissioners meeting as well as a budget meeting.
Yes.
And I assume that it was because that the commissioners wanted to be able to come to the conversation and what they're supposed to do. So I kind of heard some idea of what you guys are thinking. The floor is yours.
You guys haven't met between?
We met prior to this at 2:30 today.
I thought there was something.
Yeah, we met earlier prior to this so that we could.
I think I've said my piece, I'm a firm believer, not paying any interest or anything. You have the money here. If we have to go without an ambulance in 2 years from now, postpone it. I mean, it would hurt us, the money in here, to bring it down here, but there are things we can go without. You can't go without a truck. You can't go, that's almost like a cow truck, hiring 20 guys, and you only got one hammer. What good's it do?
In your meeting earlier, you looked at the equipment and apparatus fund, and you determined that 2 engines could be purchased from the equipment and apparatus without putting it into a deficit, or no?
Yes. I mean, I got the.
Tightly, but
Right.
it's extremely tight for a month or so until the revenues start coming back in, but yes.
And if worse comes to worse, the ambulance, 2 years we're going to face the ambulance? Or they're putting it.
Next year with the
Next year.
ambulance is
Let's
putting
postpone that one first. We don't, I mean, we have a brand new one.
Okay, so that being said, what you're telling me is the equipment and apparatus fund will support 2 vehicles. But what we found legally is that that's not possible. So
it's not possible. So if I'm understanding this right, you could still do the purchase. You can't obligate funds to say on delivery next year. They went with that for this year, and then in the leases, if the townspeople allowed to increase the operating budget to cover the payments, I believe is the way that we could do it, with an amendment, if the
So,
tax
no.
people approve. Nope, I'm
Hold
wrong again.
on.
Thank you.
Are you talking about leasing
Please
the
don't.
2 vehicles? Register?
No, purchase the one that we have the warrant article for. Get that done and started. And then,
So the second one, what threw me for a curveball on the call, because you started talking about the equipment and apparatus fund, and I thought our discussion was that for this year, right now, we can only tap the equipment and apparatus fund for the 1 engine that's on a warrant.
Okay, let me
That's
see.
right.
Okay,
You can't change the warrant article that is regarding the engine. But you can change the budget portion of that warrant article, of that budget. So let me,
of that warrant or of the entire budget?
of the entire budget, so let
Okay,
me.
but how does that help us by pulling money? Because we don't have access to the equipment and apparatus fund without a warrant article, right?
Well, what I'm saying is that the apparatus and equipment fund has more than one warrant article. It has the warrant article for the budget, and then it also has a warrant article for the engine. You cannot change the warrant article for the engine, but you can change the warrant article for the budget by raising the budget, but you can't say it's for an engine, but you can raise it X amount of dollars.
Okay, so then, well, back in your lives, that being said, if the second warrant article for the total budget of the equipment and apparatus fund expenditure, are you saying that you want to buy a second engine paying for that engine 100%? Or are you saying that you would recommend making a one-year payment, or signing a 5-year lease, and then for a 1-year payment out of the equipment and apparatus fund to make that first payment?
I didn't think we were.
No, because the way we read it when we voted 3 of us, so we voted 3 of us to say push forward to go for 2 apparatus for the prices and that something, so pretty much based on that. Now, coming here, we found a loophole in that we are crossing budget lines with the on delivery for the second half. So that got by me earlier, I think.
I think the chief had, he didn't actually come out, he said he had something like that.
Right.
He never, I wish we see it, because he's the one that was gonna present it, he's the one that.
I guess I have a basic question. Are you guys proposing that we buy a second engine with the equipment and apparatus fund? Or are you saying we're going to enter a 5-year lease and pay the first year out of the operating budget?
What they proposed, what their motion and second, what they voted on, was that to purchase 2 fire engines on Sutton proposal, with a total sum of $1,367,349.85, with said funds to be withdrawn from the apparatus and equipment replacement fund, with the first payment of $677,450 paid upon the signed contract, and the second payment of $689,999 due upon receipt of the second fund. That's what they motioned and voted on.
So there is no discussion there about whether it's coming out of the equipment and
It
apparatus?
says that it's coming out of the apparatus and equipment fund.
So does that negate the other warrant article for the single engine?
No, this does not, because you can't negate that warrant article because it has to go as it's warned.
So we're actually, according to this warrant article and the other one that we can't change, that we're buying 3 engines.
No, we're not. We're still only buying 2.
What happened to the warrant article for the one engine?
That warrant article is still there, and it stays there.
But if this one is approved,
This
then
is not a warrant article. This was their motion and second to approve the purchase of 2 rather than 1. They unanimously agreed they want to purchase 2 trucks, knowing they can't change the warrant article.
okay, gotcha. So back to Paul Ozier's comment about there being enough money in the equipment and apparatus. That's what tripped me up. Are we looking to make the payment on the equipment and apparatus fund for the second engine, or are we looking to do it out of the operating budget?
On the apparatus and equipment fund,
Yeah,
for the second engine.
yeah, that's what we discussed.
Thank
We
God,
bring it
Chief is
down,
here.
way down.
Sorry,
anyway. And that's the first payment only, right? It's not-
No. The first payment would be this year,
Okay, so that,
and then,
what you just, that motion was to buy 2 engines
right,
at that value, this something.
Right.
The contracted agreement.
right.
Are you talking about amending the dollar amount
No,
in any of the warrant articles?
no.
And how do you take money out of an account that requires a vote?
Why should they need to amend any warrant articles? Because they're not buying the second truck until the truck's delivered 2 years from now.
They're entering into a contract for a future purchase.
Well, it's no different than entering into a contract with the water district. That was a contract for 5 years.
Okay.
Right, and then you have to approve the payment every year.
Right, and so this would be no different.
That's true. And we're trying to have some discussion and transparency on it.
Right.
I gotta wrap my head around
Yeah.
where this money for the second engine is coming
It's
from.
going to come out of the apparatus and equipment fund.
Right. Well, I gathered that because I saw, when I read the minutes last time, Johnny Stevens
Oh, thank you.
made a comment about he didn't agree with money for interest or loan payments coming out of the apparatus and equipment fund. So I
Right.
assumed that's what was going
That was the interest part.
But doesn't an expenditure on the equipment and apparatus fund have to go through a warrant article?
And it would.
And it would, but just not this year.
So where's the money coming from this year?
For this year, it's coming out of the apparatus and equipment fund on that warrant article for 1 truck.
And we're entering into a contract for a second one. Where's that money coming from?
It's nowhere this year.
So you,
We'd have to vote it next year.
So
Yes.
what if,
well, actually,
It's
it'll
2
be
years.
automatic because when you sign a contract, it's automatic. It's in the budget.
That's what we did with the water district.
Yeah.
It's in the budget. It's not a separate warrant article
Yeah,
anymore.
so the water's not coming out of the apparatus and equipment fund.
yeah, exactly.
That, I guess that's the funding source.
So,
But
on
it's the
the,
same principle.
No, no, I get it.
So, but I think what we're saying here is we would be asking the body to approve an expenditure out of the equipment and apparatus fund for next year.
No, we're asking them to approve it for this year.
Okay.
I would say for the second engine.
Wait, I'm sorry. We can't take money out of the equipment and apparatus fund unless it's in a warrant article, correct?
Unless it's either in the budget or a separate warrant article for that. Yes. that is
In the
correct.
budget or a separate warrant article. The separate warrant article is by the wayside. That's not happening now, right?
It is.
That's
Yes.
for the one engine.
That's for the one engine.
I totally get that point, but let's set that engine aside.
Okay.
I understand that. How are we paying for the second engine?
Out of the apparatus and equipment fund, when,
But we don't have a warrant article stating.
not this year, no, but it will be in the budget when it's time.
Okay,
We're
so,
not taking it out this year.
I totally understand that, but what we're doing is we're handcuffing the district and we're saying, we're gonna take money out of the equipment and apparatus fund next year without a warrant article.
But it will be in the warrant.
You told me we couldn't change.
It won't be a separate warrant
There'll be
article.
another warrant next year.
It'll be in next year's warrant.
And cross our fingers that it
Yes,
flies.
but the contract's already signed, that's my point, is we have to have a funding source when we sign the contract. If- But that requires a warrant article in order to use that money. So that's not a funding source. That's not a guaranteed funding source.
I think the catch there, though, is we're not really removing any money from it this year. We're just, if I'm not mistaken, it's more or less, we're asking the district to sign a promissory note that can be taken out of the apparatus equipment fund next year for the second engine.
All we're doing is, we're just trying to let the district know that this is what we need to do, this is what we want to do.
So next year, if the district decides not to accept the warrant article for the second engine,
What's the penalty?
what do we do?
What's the penalty?
well, we signed a contract similar to what this proposal would be. So we still have to pay them money at the end.
So what we're doing is we're circumventing the process.
It's,
We either take it out of the operating budget, or we don't do it.
So if they take us to court and we lose, it comes out of the operating budget.
Yeah.
If who takes us to court?
If, say we sign a contract and for some reason the body decides not to fund the second one, they take us to court, we lose, it comes out of the operating budget.
But what we've done now is we've done an end around the process. The process being, you can't take money out of the equipment and apparatus fund without a warrant article.
So next year, the money for the second payment will be included in the, as a line item within the apparatus and equipment fund. You still see it.
It requires a vote.
Yes.
And if someone amends that then, what happens?
This is my whole point.
You're
Well,
going
we
back
dealt with it before.
We're going back to the way we used to do business, which is why nobody trusted the fire district for years. You cannot bind this year's, you cannot bind next year's meeting with this year's vote. It's wrong.
So you could make a warrant article that would commit all the funds this year. But we're not going to spend it.
But you
But we've
can't,
done that.
And
you can't,
and not do that.
you cannot do that, chief.
The way the law is written right now, you can buy one truck for X amount of money and that is it. Or in the,
Yes, with respect to warrant articles and equipment and apparatus. The caveat to that is, if we want to sign an agreement that takes the first year's payment out of the operating budget, then that's a whole different story. But what I'm hearing over here is that the equipment and apparatus fund is the funding source, and I don't see how that is legal for our discussion right now, today, to take both engines out of the equipment and apparatus fund.
Have the commissioners voted to recommend this?
Yes,
Okay, so the commission, so that's done.
yes. They unanimously voted to do this.
So what we're looking at, really, what we're discussing, I think, is two things. One is our recommendation or non-recommendation. And the second is if we decide to do this, how are we going to fund it?
What's the mechanism? That's what I'm
The cleanest, most straightforward way to do this, if you can garner enough support to get one engine bought this year, buy one engine. Look people in the eye and say, you know, we need this engine, and this is what it's going to cost. And then, if you want the second engine, you've got to jump the operating budget $132,000, so they can sign a lease. But I don't see that jump passing. Cleanest, most upfront, straightforward, honest way to do it is to buy one truck this year and one truck next year. And I know the wiggly giggly of all the money that we may not save, we may have to spend on engine 3, but I don't want to see us going back to when we've come a long way with public trust. We've come a long way. I don't want to go back the other side of it where people dogging us over every single little thing that they have in life. So it's one of those things, pay me now, pay me later, because eventually we're going to get what? We're going to get through the tracks. So the cleanest, I'm telling you, the cleanest way, if you're looking to have public support for this and other projects as we go down the road, do it clean. Say, look, we need to, but we can't swing it, we know that. And this is July. The next meeting's March. I mean, it's not that far away.
I agree with your comments. What I would like to do is expound upon that and say, we need 2 trucks. Sounds like most everybody is in favor. We can't change the whole market to buy 2 trucks this year, but we still need 2 trucks. So this is what we can do. One is buy the truck, buy the 1 truck, and then enter into agreement on the 2nd truck, whatever that agreement is, okay? And save X number of dollars by doing it. Or we buy the 1 truck this year, we buy a 2nd truck next year on a new contract, and it's going to cost this amount. So you can balance, you can say, okay, if we're going to save $50,000 and it costs us 12, you know, is that $38,000 savings? Is it worth adding to the operating budget for this year and then paying the truck off with the...
Couldn't you add it to the apparatus and equipment fund budget so that you didn't have to impact the operating budget? Because you can increase the general budget for the apparatus and equipment fund.
The one that buys the
one
tanks and the
yeah.
medical supplies and the Monster.
All that.
That's on the warrant article. It
Yeah.
has a bunch of budget items. But everything else that we buy.
I see where you're going now.
See where I'm going?
Yeah, okay. Everything else that we buy and spend like that
And you can-
is on a separate
You can pay
warrant.
the leasing out the
Yeah.
Okay, so then what you would be proposing is the first payment of the 5-year lease would be out of the equipment and apparatus fund this year, because you're going to amend
The budget.
You would amend the budget portion to include that amount of money.
okay. And then what about next year? How do we make the 2nd payment? Or the 3rd, or the 4th, or the 5th?
Same way.
You could do it out of the budget, or you can get a warrant
You
article to
put
pay
it
it off.
in the apparatus and equipment fund budget.
But at that point, now the contract has been signed, right? So,
That's a lease purchase.
right. So that contract has been signed, so we're forced, we're really that decision is not a single year.
These purchase agreements have escape clause, so if it's not funded, they can come and pick it up.
You're out of it. That's the only way you can do these purchases, if you have an escape clause.
So, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to play out all the scenarios. So if that's the second thing that's approved through the budget in terms of that grasp, that's for a single-year payment. Next year, we're going to have the similar amount from the equipment and apparatus fund for the same thing.
Right.
Or
pay
pay
it
it off.
off.
Okay,
Pay it off.
if neither of those occur,
We're out. It's gone. We're done.
offers the truck. So really what you're asking the district to do then is commit to another end limit. Right? Because
Next budget cycle.
next budget cycle.
Because if you're doing it this way, you're signing a lease purchase. You're asking them, but you're not committing them to, because the commitment comes next year if they vote to fund the event. These two, pay the lease.
But experience tells me that when you go to the public and say, you got this lease and we're not gonna pay it, it always gets paid.
My recommendation is to pay it off.
Because in 08, I made an amendment to send those pickups that they leased without permission back to the non-appropriation, the municipal non-appropriation clause in the municipal lease. And, oh no, we got them, we couldn't keep them. Well, it's all you're taking the people's decision-making power away.
No, they still have to
No,
vote
they
for it.
have-
No, not at all. Not at all. And in light of that, I move that we recommend approval, I mean, basically recommend approval for you to present this. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're going to recommend this proposal. Now, on that, to go back to what we're saying, nobody's doing anything underhand because the vote has not been made. This is going to be, I mean, my only recommendation is, are you going to read this, Chief? Because it's you're going to have on your A game. You know, because I mean, we've been sitting and hashing this out for an hour now, and I think we're just now starting to get it. I don't know until we have that time, because we're going to lose the entire voting body in an hour. We don't have that much time. So, like I said, I would, because now I'm understanding, it took us a while to understand that, yes, we are in fact actually going to increase the budget in this. We're going to make an amendment on the operating budget for the apparatus.
Well, yes, the apparatus, not the taxed operating.
Right.
Right.
Untapped.
Right. So for the apparatus and equipment fund, there's going to be an amendment made to that, which we can do. We cannot make an amendment to the fire engine.
So this is an article that already wants 450 grand this year for this, that, and the other.
Right, but I'm not going to get into semantics over that, because you know what? Again, that takes us back to the conversation.
Someone's going to ask, what's that extra money for? And as soon as you say a fire truck, so they're going, we don't buy fire
No
trucks.
one's going to ask that. We're going to be briefing it. That's what I'm talking about, Kevin.
Oh, it's going to get asked.
Okay, it'll get asked, and hopefully, it'll get asked after the chief says, this is what we want to do for the second fire truck, because he's going to explain where I'm recommending, I'm making a motion to recommend this approval be brought before the tax board. You know, so instead of us here making a decision that says, you know what, you voters out there, you taxpayers are too stupid to make your own damn decision on this, so I, Kevin Waldron, am going to make that decision for you in the budget committee. Dennis Manning doesn't even make that decision for the entire voting body. Dennis Manning has one vote at that freaking meeting. So my thoughts here is to recommend this for approval, to go before the body, to let them make up their minds. And again, the pass or fail of it is going to rely basically heavily on the chief's shoulders of explaining it.
Big difference to 2008, because those pickup trucks never came before the voting body to have a discussion about payment, about lease, or this, or the other thing. Oh, by the way, it's going to cost this for lettering and lights and stuff. None of that came before the voting body. This is transparent for the voting body. They may hate it, they may, good, bad, or ugly, but they're getting the whole story, and I think enough of us will be able to speak that we've gone different versions of this, we've looked at different iterations, we've looked at different ways to pay it, but
we need to do this as legally as possible and as cost effectively as we can. Because there's,
Yeah, no one's
and
getting screwed.
could
Nothing
we have
was
done this in
right.
January? We didn't know that these trucks were going this far downhill, this quickly. We didn't know that this vendor would provide this opportunity. It's an alignment of, here's our situation with the opportunity. Do we go for it? Do we buy a second truck in another year and keep dumping money into a failing truck? Here, voting body, these are all the facets and all the variables that we looked at, throwing good money to bad, right? We talked about that last week. So these are all the nuts and bolts and all the moving parts of this voting body. And so that's a motion.
You made your motion.
I made a motion
All right,
to put this before the voting body with the options of the
And we just lost more discussion.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
want-
So what was that last motion?
I moved that the committee, that the budget committee, in line with the commissioners, recommend this proposal.
Okay, so is this the one where we pay, we lease it for a year,
No. This is a revised, Charlie, where we would be buying 2 trucks, paying essentially the cost of 1 truck when we sign when the contract is signed,
Right.
and then paying the cost of the second truck plus about another 12 grand at the end when everything's delivered and accepted. So there's no third-party lender. The vendor is going to take the brunt and hold paper for us, and rather than, so we get the $50,000 discount, but there's a $12,000 cost to that, so it's about a 38 grand savings to make 1 payment and then a second payment. And there's no lender, there's no,
and the second truck payment in 1 year is going to be paid out of equipment and apparatus?
Yes.
I just have a numbers thought,
you know,
and that was Article 5 of this version of the warrants for 2020, is the fire truck, a new fire engine, a new fire engine, $811,450.
so when we get to the district meeting, the chief has an amendment prepared, because we were still shopping around. So that was our not to exceed. The chief has an amendment that would be presented on the floor, or the parking lot, or wherever we meet, to bring the number down to our actual vendor proposal.
We didn't just find $100,000.
No.
That stays in there, and then there's $100,000 to pay for it.
That's, and if they agree to that, to the proposal from the selectmen, then that number can be brought down even more this year.
So we're just going to get what the actual truck is, and we didn't say 100,000, 200,000.
That,
Well, no, but the intention is to
that
save that.
first number I made was another
But
company.
this warrant will adjust to the actual cost of 1 inch.
Right,
Yeah.
which is like
And we can't leave it at that to pay
That's
for
if we
it.
get 2.
Right, it's 6, what is it, 6?
It's 700 and something.
Right.
Just under-
Okay,
around
okay, I
700.
just was trying to find some money.
Yeah, right. No, it's,
So I still have a further confusion here. So next year, if this proposal passes, as we've discussed it, next year are we making a 1-year payment on the equipment and apparatus fund? Or that 1 payment is coming out of this year's equipment and apparatus fund budget?
What they're talking about is this year, when they order the truck and they invoice us, we pay for that 1 truck. And then when the second truck is delivered, we make that payment out of the operating equipment. But it has to go in the budget and be voted on by the people.
So we're going to amend the apparatus and equipment fund budget, Article 5, for the total cost of that second machine. There's no 1-year payment of a 5-year lease. There's total cost of that machine.
That will be for 1 truck only. And then the next,
No. I get the 1 fire truck is on a warrant already.
Right.
Set that aside.
Yes.
I totally understand.
we're not amending Article 5 for
I
the,
totally understand that. Oh, this is Article 5 as a budget. That's what we've been talking about amending.
we're not amending, if they agree to go with the 2 trucks to do this, we don't have to amend Article 5 this year, because we don't need the money until that truck is delivered, which will be 14 months out.
Okay, so Right.
We're still giving them choices.
No, we
Right.
may in fact not pay one nickel in interest or payment on lease payment or anything.
Right,
Right, okay, all right, I'm tracking now. So we gotta pay for the first engine that we approve
Right.
on a warrant,
right,
okay? We gotta explain to the voting body that we're going to enter into a contract with Sutphen to buy the second engine so that we can take advantage of these $100,000 savings by buying 2 trucks
right.
for less than the 700,000. So for this amount. And did I miss the number? What was the actual number without the savings?
One engine, if we just buy one engine, it's $703,000.
Oh, 703.
The cost of the truck is $703.
Okay.
If we buy 2 engines, they basically go down this. The first one is $677, the second one is $689.
Right. So I mean, potentially we'll save about 60 grand on trucks.
But there's roughly the same, why would they the same price?
Because when you pay, if you pay for both
It would
up
be if
front,
we paid for the
if you
same.
pay for both up front, it would be the same price. But since we're,
So there is a fee involved in that one.
No, it's inflation.
It's
Right,
inflation.
but it's not a, but it's still a cost savings.
Right,
It's still a cost savings because 89, you're still saving.
They're holding paper on that.
15. You're still saving $15,000 on the second truck. But the point for the camera and the point for that for everybody is that we're entering into the we're going to word that in the agreement that we're looking at a lease for right now, which could be negated in a very short time, frankly. Once we have the next budget cycle next March,
Right.
we put another the exact same article, warrant article for this year. We're going to do that again for $689,999, right?
but you don't have to, you can just include it in the budget.
No. I'm talking next year.
Yeah, next year.
I'm talking next year, so that we put a warrant article so we don't pay for a lease, that we just buy the truck outright.
Right.
So when we take delivery,
But you
because next,
you could put that in the budget though, you don't have to do a separate warrant article for it,
for the second engine.
for the second engine, because you've got the lease.
All right, that's what we're saying there. Yeah, that's gonna take it, that's a tall order again.
So you don't,
You gotta explain all that,
yeah.
yeah.
Commission.
We gotta explain all
Next year,
that.
you're just gonna put it in the budget.
You can just put it in the budget,
Right.
if that's how you decide to do it.
Yeah, but the answer is but no, I get it, but yeah, it's gonna be a lot of cost savings, showing cost savings.
Why,
None of
I guess,
which-
why would you put it in the budget, not just take it out of the apparatus?
It's going to
It's in the
fund,
apparatus and equipment fund budget, because that's a separate budget from the operating budget.
Next year's Article 5, so
Yeah, my point is, we're not going to raise and appropriate a dime for the second engine to pay any leases, any loans, or anything.
No, we're not.
And next year, the plan is to put it into the budget for the entire amount, so that we pay upon delivery of the
Also,
truck.
yeah, so what you just said is correct, but we're also entering an agreement this year that we have no intention of paying.
Right. No, I totally understand.
if you were to pay for both trucks right now, when you order, it wouldn't involve any fees, correct?
But,
we're not,
but we can't
the
have it.
apparatus and equipment fund, the way I do it.
Change the article.
You
You
can,
can't change the article that applies to it.
no, you can't change the flat truck article. You can amend Article 5 this year. And
The full load.
700 grand.
That's what we could find, we'll how possibly,
But we wouldn't be spending that money until the truck is delivered.
Not if they don't cut the check.
but yeah, well, you can.
But we're trying to cut the check this year,
If we
not
pay-
the extra 12
If
grand.
you cut the check, the 2 trucks this year, the apparatus and equipment fund can also feel paying off both trucks this year.
So we just hold the bill.
I get it. Believe it or not.
Unless we didn't spend all the other stuff out of that.
We'd have to not buy a compressor, which we need. We'd have to not buy any turnout gear. We'd have to stop buying EMS supplies. And even if we did all that, we did all that.
So there's enough money in there today to buy these trucks. And you get revenue every month.
Yeah, at what time does the tank start getting filled again? I follow you
buy those items.
Maybe,
along the way.
maybe delay something, maybe rethink. You know, the problem with these budgets is we get our mind made up, we gotta do this and this and this, and we become very rigid and inflexible to any changes.
Some of the stuff that people think about.
We have to let it come out. We already, that's fine. $45,000 because we sold the airline. This turnout gear that's reaching its 10-year age, it has to be replaced. I have to go. Those are things I know. Big ticket items that I know we have to pay.
So, may I ask the commissioners a question? You don't need a question from that else on this, you put me an apparatus on pay.
Well, if you look at the number, yeah, there's enough money in there right now, but we still have to buy other stuff. It's going to diminish that number.
Well, maybe that part of it was not expressed to these gentlemen, because the comment saying earlier was, we have enough money to buy two engines. And that's kind of contrary to what
So if we have enough money to buy 2 engines, I'm using this proposal. That's why the proposal is the way it is, because when I look at it, I think I spoke to you on the phone about it, to try to pay for 2 this year up front, the apparatus improvement fund can't fully support.
the these gentlemen are under the impression that
Well, I'm going to throw another monkey wrench in there.
excuse me,
I'm going to throw another monkey wrench in there.
oh, please don't. It's too many.
You can only increase your budget 10% over what was warned.
That's not a monkey wrench.
It's a fact. You can only increase it 10%.
Isn't it a lot harder to say we're going to get 2 and pay for 2 this year than say we're going to get 2 and pay for 1 this year and 1 next year? That's much
That's
harder to
essentially
do.
what we want to do.
We don't, nobody's might like
And
the,
here's how much we save
Yeah,
by
right.
doing that.
right.
We're just gonna really articulate the cost savings and the methodology behind it.
And how much maintenance.
The repair lines that are already.
We've already
wrong.
we've gone over that line.
Well, I don't want anyone to misconstrue my comments. I totally get the purpose of why we're having this discussion. What I am really confused about is the mechanism with which we're going to pay for it. And that's what I don't have a full grasp of. I've heard all kinds of explanations, and it seems like whenever I get an explanation that I understand, somebody chops it off at the knees because that can't happen, or it's not the way it is.
Sorry, I don't mean to chop you off at the knees.
The way I understand it is, okay, we like you said, put that aside. We've got that warrant for the fire truck.
Yep.
Number 1. Okay, and now we're going to ask the voting body to increase the apparatus and equipment fund budget by the interest or the lease payments. Is that the number that we're looking at?
But the vendor's not asking for it.
No, the vendor's not asking for
Okay, so
anything.
we're just, all right, so we're not attaching money, so we're not raising that.
No, we don't have
Okay, so we
to.
are not raising that. All right,
No.
I thought we mentioned we were raising that.
No, we don't have to because,
Okay, so back up.
because you made a motion to present this proposal. You haven't voted on it yet, but you made the motion, you seconded
Right.
it, and that's what you're discussing. So you're not asking to raise any more money.
Right. Okay, and I don't think we are going to then, according to what you're saying, because basically what we're asking for the public, when we go there to the district meeting,
You're asking them to give us their
the
blessing.
blessing, right, the blessing to purchase the second truck based on all these reasons and
Yeah.
savings, and that payment is due upon delivery of that truck, probably a year, 14 months from now.
Right.
Therefore, buyer beware,
Next
voting
year,
body, at March 2021, you will see, well, no, we're not going to say it this year.
we're
That's where
going to
gonna
have to
see-
put it into the budget in 2021.
We're going to put it in the budget, so you have to
because
explain that it's going into, we're going to have an increase in the budget, not a warrant, but an increase to the budget for the price, $689,999.85.
Right,
For the balance of
for the
this.
balance, right.
In next year's budget.
In
And
next year's budget.
So, what we're doing now is we're saying, people, there's 15 of us here. We want you to agree to pay for a fire engine out of next year's budget, when half of you may not live in town. Somebody could pass away. We are asking this group to commit to someone else's money.
To a certain extent.
That's what I don't.
But not really, because you're not going to spend that money.
But I look at it like I'm gonna save myself some money.
Trust me, I'm on that. Dennis, I'm all over that.
Right.
I'm trying to figure out
No, I
how to
hear
make
you.
this work. And I can't see someone agreeing to saying, I'm going to vote for money to be spent next year, but I'm going to vote for it now. Next year's budget.
Can we do that when we bond buildings
That's true.
on 20 and 30-year notes? And we say, you know what? Go ahead, build a $10 million police station. I'm moving. I don't give a rat's ass. That's basically, that's what it is.
But that's
You got my vote, I'm moving.
That's a bond. That's different than this, because here what we're saying is we're going to pay 100%.
We're making a commitment to pay something this year and pay something next year.
And to save them this much money.
I get
So
that. I totally get that.
Right, so I guess my question, everybody, I'm not asking for the vote, that's your job. My question is, who in this budget committee right now doesn't want to recommend to at least let the taxpayers vote?
Well, that's the thing is,
I mean, I'm already gonna say I'm gonna vote yay. to
my
recommend.
vote, it would be that the voting body deserves to see this and to vote on it, because I think there's value in it. And that's what I would be, that's what I'm asking you is, does the voting body deserve to see this, deserve to get the information, do they deserve to hear the discussion, and the numbers, and the releases, and all the options? Do they have the right to that, all those menu options? That's what we're, and now this would be the latest and greatest, that maybe it's for them to decide if it's the greatest, but this is the latest that.
And if they all decide no and vote down, I'm not gonna cry myself to sleep.
No.
July 15th.
And then I'll hope that they buy at least one engine, because we gotta do something.
So if we go this route, and in a year or less, we realize, they say no, so we need to then borrow for that second truck. Isn't that still an option? Oh, Franklin Savings Bank, we need $677,000.
No, because we have an option that if they don't vote it, what would you call that option? That where they come and take the truck?
It's an escape clause
Or
That's
on a lease.
the commissioners can say, all right, hey voting body, we heard you loud and clear, we're just gonna buy one truck. Because they're not gonna, no contract is getting signed until after this district meeting.
But in one year, we can't somehow come up with money from a loan, from anything. They just want their money. They're sucked-in people. They don't care how to get it.
Right.
The issue really comes forward with, number one, transparency. And number two, the equipment and apparatus fund was set up for a very specific purpose, and that was for this. So what you're saying is well, all right, it didn't pass through the equipment and apparatus fund, so we'll take out a loan and we'll pay through it in the operating budget. And it kind of circumvents the whole purpose of the equipment and apparatus fund. So
It's like a last resort.
Right, but they won't have enough money in the operating budget to do that. So
To make payments?
It's moved.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's not even an option. And the chief is not going to get away with making that payment for 12 months because he can.
There's no way that the operating budget would even have any.
And I can't see the voting body voting for a budget that pays for a lease and not to appropriate it out of it.
Yeah.
Well, Dennis, your motion was to allow the chief to make this proposal to the district. Is that correct?
Yeah. Because I mean, that's what we're asking for, are we not?
Yeah. Well, I just want to make sure I understand. What we're then doing is we're recommending that as the budget committee, we're recommending that the chief enter this contract, but we're not offering a funding mechanism.
So is that what we're here for? Would we have to, you guys are looking for a funding mechanism?
I don't think so. That's not what.
The funding mechanism would be an appropriation. line item and next to his apparatus equipment. And, but we would explain that this year as well. The reason that we're here is because I want to be totally above board and explain everything and try and answer all your questions.
And this isn't a first draft. And that's the whole point of your discomfort.
Exactly, exactly. That's it. You got it.
Exactly. It's like, no, we're not asking for funding, that's the point. We're asking for a promise for next year's funding.
But the thing is, it's to those who pay attention, it's very obvious. We're spending good money after bad right now. We have very unreliable piece of equipment. We're here to serve. As a body, we make a promise to be able to do that with this fire department. We're not keeping that promise if we don't keep our equipment in a running fashion. And it's right now, we don't know from day to day what's going to happen with these trucks. It's a daily thing. It's a problem.
Yeah, but we all go to the same tune at the end of the day, and that's what, you know, there has to be some alignment to say, hey, these trucks are okay. We have an opportunity to fix that. And we can, you know, get
And I think there's a lot of validity and strength to that point. If we had money in the equipment and apparatus funding, we could do it.
And I'd like to think that, you know, run into somebody at the restaurant or the grocery store or whatever, and then somebody says, hey, listen, what's going on with this truck thing? That we could all speak that we're trying to get 2 trucks for the best possible money. We're getting hemmed up on some of the mechanisms, but we got to get a couple trucks.
And that's not our job, that's the commission's job.
Right.
The mechanism, not ours.
I don't agree with that. I think we should have some guidance. We should at least have some guidance as far as how we're going to.
So we line item in the budget, we know where the money's coming from. And we make our votes based on it.
So Kathy, I'm going to throw the ball into your court. So this district meeting was scheduled for March.
Right.
COVID-19 comes, governor says, can't do it.
Right.
DRA digs their heels in and says, nothing can change. Everything has changed. The governor says we can't do it in April or May. We're going to do it in June. We can't do it in June. We're going to do it in July. DRA digs their heels in and says, nothing's different. How does that work?
Because you have already warned the people. You cannot change the warned articles.
I understand in the normal world. We're not in
Even
the-
now, they won't let us do it. It's illegal. It's illegal because what?
It's illegal not to have the district meeting on March 17th.
Well, the governor said we didn't have to, so we're the good there.
The emergency, the governor.
Right.
Maybe we should be talking to the governor, not DRA.
Good luck with that.
Well, you know what? He came out with a lot of orders the other day that allows a lot more flexibility and actually gave guidance to online annual meetings too. So I haven't read through all of that.
Neither have I. I haven't had a chance.
Things have evolved.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is DRA says nothing's different.
Right. As far as it comes to your warrant articles, once you warn them, that's how they say you can't change 1 truck to 2 because you warned for 1. You can't, you can increase your...
If we had more time, we could have another public meeting.
Right. If we had more time,
And all we've had is time.
but we haven't been able to have a public meeting.
So how much notice do we have to have a public hearing before the district meeting? 2 weeks?
It's too late.
Yes.
It's too late.
It's
Sorry.
all happening.
Yeah, it's the Monday after next.
Yeah.
This is
It's a
all
week from Monday. Yeah. just-
Spring Street in Franklin, yeah.
What?
Overdose in Spring Street.
Oh,
Surprise, huh?
yeah, no kidding.
I just got a motion on the floor.
Right. And the motion is to I recommend that this go to the voting body for their review, and it's been seconded. And I'm going to call the question for the budget committee. All those in favor of allowing this proposal to go before the voting body, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those not in favor of this proposal going in front of the voting body, please respond in negative. Nay. Kevin doesn't want this to go before the voting body. Agreed? Okay. Anybody else in negative? Okay, so motion carries that this will go before the voting body for their review and consideration.
So now, I'm going to throw this right back in the lap of the commissioners, and with the new information, what do you guys think? How do you feel? Because you were under the impression that there was adequate money to be put in that rights fund, and then we'd be able to equalize it. Any comments?
If you, there's not enough for this year, but there is enough by the time next year comes, make it second.
But we don't have voting ability now to do that.
Right.
So, and we can't cross our fingers and say, well, we've been averaging this much
Right.
intake, and also we can guess and hope that we've had this much money coming in the next.
We also need to go about that 10%.
Right.
And we talked about that in our last meeting. That it wouldn't all be in there till more money than
Right.
But it was and I'm sorry, I'll come back to you guys. It was a totally different set of circumstances because we were under the impression that we could change the warrant article.
Yeah.
So, well, Kathy wasn't here to steer it straight, so that was one detriment. But we kicked around all kinds of different
You
scenarios.
can amend a warrant article, but you can't change the intent, the main intent. So you can, it's like on the engine, you can change the amount, but you can't change the number of engines.
Yeah. You can just say you're buying one and getting one free for $1 million through it.
Yeah.
BOGO.
that's what we said, no.
Yeah, we're just buying one. They made an extra one by mistake. Yeah.
When is this famous meeting, the annual meeting?
That would be the 13th of July,
Yeah.
7 p.m. Winnisquam Regional Middle School in the gymnasium.
Good.
Where are your June speakers?
I might be doing taxes before July 15th, so
I know.
I don't think you need me there anyway.
Yes, we do.
You do? What for?
All right, do you mind if we,
Catch some flack like the rest of us.
Yeah, right.
I'm not taking flack.
I agreed on it, Paul, with the understanding there's money in there. By the time the second comes, we'll have enough money. If worse came to worse, by the time it's due, I mean, we're in for a new ambulance next year, and the chief said there's going to be money in there, so we don't get it. I mean, I would not like to see us jeopardize what's in there, to get it down so low that, it's, I wouldn't see that.
and you're philosophically okay with signing a contract for 2 machines now and paying for one on next year's equipment and apparatus fund warrant.
Well, look at it this way. What if we do it this year and do one next year? All we're doing, we're saving money by doing this. Simple as that.
Well, then on that second, even if we waited a year and placed an order on a second engine, now you're waiting another year to get that second engine. So
And
now
there's
you're
gonna be
2
a lot
years
more money.
into, right, so now you're,
Cost of it,
so you're running on one, and maybe there's got to be a second piece that you're going to keep on the money into, because the perfect engine, the brand new one, will have the off go for periodic things and inspections or other calls. Right, no, how much money do we want to keep dumping
I mean,
out?
it's not even common sense. Whether you do it this year or next year, I mean, you're gonna,
It's coming.
it's coming. We get one this year, next year we put in for another one, and you pay a lot more money. So that's the way I'm not a firm believer in paying interest. I hate that. I paid for 2 houses, and I paid dearly.
weeks of time.
Weeks of time, right? Okay, and the reason I asked that is because I know we're gonna pay upon delivery, but it's only like a couple.
Acceptance, delivery and acceptance, and we have to accept.
Commissioners have the floor.
I didn't hear any talking.
Paul hasn't stopped. He just did, so
Just pause.
John can.
So I was definitely coming on this the whole time up to the vote. I definitely want to take it to the voting body to let us know where they want to go with this. I personally would rather see that 1 year lease to own in there because I still have a bad feeling with a promissory note for something that I'm not paying for now. Just because it's almost like sleight of hand saying, oh, I'm paying for next year's thing without your approval. If you have that lease to own or something, you do it from the apparatus fund this year, then you're showing good faith and commitment and upfront with people rather than say, yeah, we'll pay it, but then.
So when you're,
That has to be the next round of the change. That has to be queued up for an option ready to,
right,
the body wants to take it that way.
right, so.
And that's fair. I mean,
So what Paul, I think, was saying was, you're totally fine with two, pay for one next year, how do you put it in apparatus? And what John is saying is, totally fine with two, pay for one this year. Next year will be
a warrant article or the apparatus fund, but it's more transparent to the public that way.
so what you're saying then is, what you just said, I think was a lease payment, so what you're
If we
saying.
could do the lease to own.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna sign the contract now and take our pick on the two ways to fund it, either fully value equipment and apparatus or a lease agreement. And you prefer a lease agreement or you like that as a backstop?
The chief said, he's saying, we're being told that we don't have enough in there to get through this year to pay it all up front. Ideally, I would love to pay it up front, but we do have the compressor, the other things
So
that
I think what you're saying is that we'll have enough next year to pay it off next year.
I think we're crossing lines, or budget lines, and I'm not very familiar with that. That's why I just would rather, personally, would rather see the lease to own, because then we're at least committing to that.
we're getting a this year vote for this year, next year's money that's
Right.
a little more solid that has a
It's a
body.
little bit more transparent to the public.
And it has a
in my
buy-in.
opinion.
Okay, so what you're recommending then is that we come forward with a proposal for a lease to own.
They voted for it.
Yes, they did.
They voted for it. It's like we,
Yeah, no, I understand.
Right.
What I'm trying to do is what's the next step? Because the voting body, the district is gonna ask, well, how do you intend on paying for the track and field? Learn from these two gentlemen is what their thoughts are on how we fund it. Paul has said,
When you lease, what's it going to cost if you lease it?
Right, that's what I'm wondering, how much more is it
How
gonna
much
cost?
more?
I don't think a lease to own is gonna be nothing,
What are we going to
nothing that's not a lease is gonna have some finance charge in it. So I'm gonna have something like that.
Lease it ain't free. If you lease it for a year, I know what it's going to cost us.
There are a number of options of way of going about this. If you're talking, in John's respect, lease, you can pay up front, if you sign a lease, the commissioner sign a lease to purchase, you can pay for the apparatus, both of them up front, and pay $677 for both. But now you're on the hook for interest until you decide you want to pay the truck off, which could be next year. So it might only be
8 months worth of.
until the district meeting. So if we signed the contract in August, so August, September, October, November, January. Did I say December? No, you didn't. December, January, February, March. 8 months worth of interest.
Which almost negates the reason for doing the whole damn thing in the first place. Because once you start paying all that interest on lease, where's the cost savings? Why are we having this conversation?
Because you're able to place an order for 2 trucks simultaneously and not wait a year to take another year's delivery of the truck. So you're looking at your savings to be not dumping maintenance into the second truck.
Right.
You get 2 trucks.
and also if it were paid off after the first year, you'd only pay 1 year of interest, not 5.
It's just trying to be more transparent. We've built a lot of good cooperation with the community, and I just want to keep fostering that. I want to not sneak something by them.
I don't think anybody here wants to sneak anything. I'm trying to get a grasp on, if this is what we're going to propose, how are we going to pay for it? Because that's going to be the next question. And we're going to have an idea.
I'm
You guys are trying to work with us, we're trying to work with you, we're all trying to work with the holding body, the DRA is all working together. So, we're all in this together, and that's the first time that's actually made sense to me, is that we're kind of in this together,
So-
is finding the way, it's the sort of.
The proper way.
DRA is not, is the obstacle, the compliance.
Yeah, so if we buy the one truck with the money in the thing, sign a lease agreement, say it's 5 years, but you're gonna pay it off in March. You pay 8 months worth of interest, which is $96.88, if my math is correct. But by paying both up front, you save 12, so it's a net, that's $3,000 cheaper. I won't say it saves, because you gotta. So $3,000 less expensive to actually sign a lease and pay a month's worth of interest on it.
So where would that lease payment, the lease payment would be due upon receipt of the engine next August or September or October,
So
right? When do we have to make the first lease payment in this scenario?
if we sign a contract, the first lease payment will be either August or September
Of this year.
of this year.
Right.
We're going to pay for March.
So where would that money come from?
You have to have it in the apparatus.
We would have to
That's-
increase the apparatus.
The bottom line of the apparatus.
That's where we can vote, that's the amount we can change.
Okay, so, no, I'm not asking just about the 9,800, I'm asking about the lease payment that's due in August. Where does that money come from?
100,000, it's a 5-year.
Yeah, the first month's lease payment.
Each monthly payment is.
At least 15 days, but not more than 30 days.
So the first monthly payment is $1,176.
And then,
Okay, so,
That's the monthly payment all the way through, so you make 8 of those.
okay, Chief, take a step back. So the first payment comes due,
September or August.
let's say August. Where is that money coming from to make that payment?
It has to come from the apparatus. Well, it doesn't have to. I mean, you can appropriate out of the operating, you have to raise and appropriate out of the operating budget a line item.
Okay, so let's say it's coming out of the equipment and apparatus fund. Budget, that's the Article 6. Yeah. So is the next month and the next month and the next month. So what is that total until we get to March of next year when the new budget will be approved? And Kathy?
7 months.
Right, 7 months of 10 grand, and does that get us under the 10%?
It's 12 grades, 7 times 12.
Does that get us under,
$84,000.
does that get us into, under the 10% that we can increase the equipment and apparatus fund budget? If we add 100 grand, 120 grand to it,
well, you take the whole budget into consideration.
the whole 2 million.
The whole 2 million. Right,
10% of the 2.4.
Right.
So it
It's
is-
at 240.
right.
So, yeah, no, I misunderstood. I thought that 10% of the budget was 10% of the equipment and apparatus fund.
No, it's 10% of the whole budget,
Okay, so,
the entire budget.
so with that being said, if the chief comes up with a number of what the payments are gonna be between now and next March, we can say, all right, we would like to increase Article 6 by X amount to pay the first year's lease payment. Yes. Does that make sense? Should we have those numbers? Should we be able to make that?
But the other number that we definitely need to know is, I think we should separate principal and interest from that amount too. So we don't convolute like, oh, we got 100 and how much thousand coming off the truck? No, not necessarily, we should have finance.
I have the invoices
Right.
here, it breaks down.
Is that for the second option, if they take this first idea of the motion that just passed?
Correct.
Well, here's another one, see how you like this one.
Exactly, yeah, yeah. I think we need to be able to present options. Or at least if somebody asks a question, well, if we do this, what's it gonna cost?
To do that, you may have to reorder.
My intent was to use
It's
the
not a
second,
big
to
issue.
get the second engine, not necessarily the
Yeah, you
money
can
out,
right,
right,
that would come out.
exact amount.
So we have to make a motion.
Whether
We
we
want to
want
pass
to,
a truck and then.
it's just a matter of getting the second engine discussed.
Yeah, but the equipment and apparatus budget and the truck are not combined with the equipment and apparatus budget.
No, but
So-
they're numerical.
So you want to take warrant article 6 before warrant article 5? Because warrant article 5 is apparatus and equipment
Five, so we may
budget,
have to modify.
and 6 is the fire. And you can do that with a motion.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what you're saying is we should put the article for the single engine that we've all agreed upon first.
Well, we should hear 6 before 5. Somebody can make a motion.
And then the reason for that is,
Because depending on the outcome of what we discuss on 6, then we have, there's going to be a presentation of the two truck concept. 6 will fulfill paying for 1. But if we decide that we want to modify 5 to pay for the second truck via a 1 year or 8 months worth of payments, we're going to have to modify the numbers in 5.
So you want to be sure that when you do the amendment to warrant article 6, that it covers the full cost of just one engine. And then, depending upon how that goes, and then the conversation with 5, you can adjust everything to 5 for the second.
If we put 5 to bed, then did 6, and then start talking about a second engine, then we have to move to reconsideration
Right.
of 5, reopen it if it's
Right.
rejected, okay? And add, have a lot of.
I don't understand that correlation, because they're two different things.
They are two different
They
things,
are.
but you're asking for money to fund a lease payment.
If we just vote 5 for the compressor and the turnout gear and those things, and seal it, and then start talking about trucks, then we open this Pandora box of.
No, I understand that part of it, but 6 is gonna be unchanged with these.
Correct,
the number.
but we would want to hear, we would
You
want
want
to
to hear,
vote 6.
vote on
because
6
we put
and
five.
then we vote
We're gonna
5.
have this discussion with 6.
Because the numbers in 5 may
Which will
change
affect
based on
five.
what we do on the second.
Right.
How we pay for the second. That's all.
You know, in number 6, you want it to be so that you're either funding just one engine, or you're basing it on the proposal for 2.
Right, the cost.
The cost, right, it
And
varies,
we already know 6 is down to
7 something,
703 or 600.
right.
Any other discussion? Or a motion to adjourn?
Second. Journey.
All those in favor?
Aye.
7:15.
Thank you very much.
That was quick and easy, right? Well, this is gonna be quick. I'm just gonna make a motion.
What are you doing there, young Mr. Rennie?
good. So,